gonna take all of us to heal this world. It's gonna take all of us.
So it's a bit quiet here today at COP28, and that's because it's a rest day. Regardless, we're here to put the show together for you, and there's actually still a few events happening in the green zone. So we have the Polar Race for Good today, where 4 schools from around the world are all competing via Zoom to win the big award and ultimately help protect Antarctica. We'll also be hearing from several activists with innovative ideas that will help change the future. Again, thank you so much for all the questions you've been sending in. Keep them coming, as it does help produce this show. And by the way, how amazing are these night shots of COP28? Check them out and I'll see you later.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm in the nature of doing nature work as well as social enterprise. So what we do is we bring people together, and through a natural space or urban farm, we have different types of programs and multiple community programs that forge people stronger together, and we bring a closer bridge within the food and the people together. And the other part of what I do is nature commodity. So what we have forest nurseries where we propagate plants, we propagate different species of trees, and then we implement it within cities. As a youth in Singapore, I think nature is super important because growing up, I'm a 3rd generation agriculture farmer of different trees, different grass, species of flowers, and I've seen how Singapore progressed as a nation from a city in a garden, from a garden city, and now it's a nature in a city. It is super important that we appreciate the greenery around us and how nature actually plays an integral role in absorbing carbon, providing biodiversity for our world. So I'm super passionate about the environment, super passionate about people, and that's how a lot of my businesses and enterprises are brought together. I think being at COP28 is my 2nd COP since Sharm el-Sheikh in COP27. It has been really a multifaceted issue that climate change really brings to the world. Being in the Singapore Pavilion, where I help to curate different types of programs, and being in the main stage where you see live how negotiation happen on different tracks and different issues that different countries are concerned about. There is definitely some progress that we have taken as a world, but a lot more have to be taken. And I do believe that it is important for such a big platform. It's easy to just lament and have the doom and gloom about how the world is coming to an end. We are all not going to save the world, but I do believe that what we need is not hope, it's determination, and I believe that we are going to change the world. And it is humans that will bring in the new innovations, the new conversations that are important and important to save the world. A lot of collaboration needs to happen, so building on how we should all find our tribe, build on it, become better, help people become better, and in that process you yourself also become better. Because one thing about collaboration, it actually accelerates change, it accelerates innovation, it also accelerates cooperation within countries, and not just within Asia, within the whole world, because COP is a global event. Things can actually move a lot faster, innovations can go a lot faster, and money that's being pledged can also go a lot faster. If I had one message for you, it's not about hope, but it's determination that will save the world. It's gonna take all of us.
If someone doesn't have a connection to a place, they're not going to necessarily feel inspired to want to protect and want to preserve that place. So really getting outward bound education. If you're living in the center of a city, going out and seeing agriculture, seeing what livestock looks like, seeing what a forestry project looks like, seeing what a renewable energy project looks like, or a waste management project looks like. And whilst sometimes that might not be as cool and sexy as maybe going into fashion or going into technology or going into finance or going into big energy, how we can really bring support to rural areas is really critical, because I think that rural places are fundamentally where our food is coming from, where our provisions of water, where our provisions of clean air are being produced in rural areas, in national parks. So I really, throughout my career, facilitating a lot of different expeditions around the world, including a lot in Antarctica, I think it's important that we realize that our global commons, our shared areas like international water, 43% of our planet is international water. That's not owned by anyone. Our ionosphere, our atmosphere, it is not owned by anyone. Antarctica, the 7th big continent of our planet, twice the size of Australia, it is not owned by anyone. And I think that that's a really beautiful symbol of unification, that it doesn't matter if you're China or Russia or Australia or Nigeria or India or Japan or England or wherever you are in the world. Even if you're a climate denier, you can meet eye to eye with people on the fact that, and maybe not everyone, but 95% of people, even if they're a climate denier, talking about clean air and clean water and food that doesn't make you sick and the basics of provisions from our planet, I think we can really meet and unify geopolitical tensions with the fact that our planet is in red zone right now. It is screaming at us to reform how we are producing energy, how we are producing food. And I really believe that the global provisions of where we're getting clean water and our food and making sure the air is clean to breathe, I really believe this can unite us. And so that's been a big part of my history, is that educating people on those global ecosystems. And I'm really proud to be aggregating that experience and now delivering a very tangible project in the world's oldest rainforest, connected very closely to the Great Barrier Reef.
Today is a Polar Race for Good show, and youth from around the world think that they have a solution to help save the penguins in Antarctica. Let's zoom.
Hi, I'm Linda Cruz and I'm at COP28 in Dubai. We have something incredibly exciting happening today. It's actually involving youth from 7 continents. This includes the continent of Antarctica. So this is what is so special, I believe, that we have youth being represented all over the world, coming together. They've been on a 6-week journey for me called The Race for Good. And it's all about climate change. And the youth have been given challenges for the last 6 weeks. And today is the final. And it's about Antarctica. And today they're going to be looking at what it's like to really be a young person, because we're in touch directly with the school in Antarctica, the one and only school. And we're hearing the voices of youth. Everything we do with Race for Good is real people, real problems, real impact. And what I feel is so important is going to happen today is that the dialogue between every race, every religion, every background, whether it's desert, snow, mountains, oceans, they are all coming together as one voice. Today the focus is on Antarctica. We have been focusing on the Arctic and also on the Himalayas, the 3 poles that are being majorly affected by climate change. The Polar Race for Good that we're running at COP28 for climate change has been focused on 3 key areas. That's the Antarctica, the Arctic and the Himalayas. But let me give you an example. So for example, the challenge for the Arctic is this. It's set in the very north of Greenland. And as we know, these poles are being affected more than anyone by the sea ice melting. When you're in a community like Kanak in Greenland, the hunters there rely on that way of living to survive. They have 1 delivery of food a year. The challenge is, with the sea ice melting, with them unable to hunt as they should be able to because the sea ice is so thin, it's so amazing that students from all over the world are collecting collaboratively to be one united voice.
Antarctica. Penguins are majestic birds that live in the South Pole, the first sea, the driest desert in the world, Antarctica. Antarctica has many species of animals living in the oceans and on land, including the penguins. The amount of carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere has been higher than ever. Our business plan is to create an app that encourages youth to reduce plastic usage and recycle. It may seem pointless as recycling is no new term to most of us. However, we need to realize that the issue is not that the world does not know what needs to be done, it's that many have the power to be the part of the change and are reluctant to take action.
Realistically, there isn't a straightforward solution that can end climate change in the blink of an eye. We still have the chance to redeem the hopes of our precious planet, but it is being wasted every single second. Our approach to this crucial topic is to find a way to form a virtual, global community for youths to connect and join from around the world. Our goal is to gain maximum contribution, not to set out seemingly flawless but unrealistic plans.
We believe that small and collective change can make a massive impact, since it is more likely to gain a larger scale of contribution as it is simple and does not seem unachievable. All it takes is a couple of simple additional steps in our daily lives, and what most people do not realize is how much of a difference they could actually be making.
We would like to put forward our proposal, which is to create an app that will act as our virtual campaign. It will aid information and encourage recycling, and it will be targeted towards youth around the world, which make up 16% of the population.
The app will serve as a recycling log, and there's going to be a camera function in the app where you can upload a picture of the item that you have recycled, and you will earn points upon submission. Users can take part in daily or weekly quests with specific challenges like no plastic week or bring your own grocery bag. And there will be a daily checklist where you can earn bonus points for fulfilling all the tasks given.
Points can be used to redeem different types of penguins, and the user can place the penguins to decorate their virtual Antarctic space. Users are also able to add friends on this platform where they can interact with each other, take part in challenges together, view each other's achievements library, and most importantly, they can visit each other's virtual Antarctica area. This way, each individual will help to invite their friends and families to join the platform and expand our community to make a difference.
Furthermore, when specific points have been earned on certain achievements have been completed, users will gain a virtual penguin badge that can be collected and displayed in their profile account. We sent out a survey to students in our school asking what drives their motivation and what reward systems they found intriguing. We found that the majority of students particularly liked the idea of earning points and collecting badges of achievements. Therefore, we will design and include several themes, variations, and levels of the penguin badges that can be collected to increase the variety and attract more commitment towards the challenge.
An interesting feature of our app is that there will be streaks, which counts up the duration of time users that are able to log in and complete at least one recycling activity consecutively. Lots of apps already have this streak feature, and it is a good way of personal challenge and to keep up routine.
What we look to achieve is to form a community where youth can be informed of and inform others about climate change. In the long run, these little challenges will become a habit and routine for each individual, and we will see a significant decrease of plastic usage. According to the Container Recycling Institute, more than 60 million plastic bottles end up in landfills and incinerators every day. If we could get the majority to help, we could prevent the additional 20 billion plastics from damaging our environment in the future.
So this app will contain information about climate change, what causes it, and how users can help, mainly to raise awareness about the lethal effects of climate change and inspire action. This will teach youths to strive to be proactive global citizens, and one of the main issues our platform will tackle is the overwhelming amount of plastic waste that purely results in the destruction of our fragile planet, with only 9% which gets recycled annually. And according to the United Nations Environmental Program, an equivalent of 2,000 garbage trucks full of plastic are dumped into the oceans, and about 19 to 23 million tons of plastic waste leaks into the ecosystems each year.
The issue with plastics is that they emit significant amounts of greenhouse gases when decomposing. They can disrupt the ecosystems, destroy wildlife, pollute marine lives, and etc. By reducing plastic consumption and normalizing recycling, we're reducing the amount of waste ending up in landfills. We're conserving natural resources and energy, and potentially provide employment for people to work at recycling centers.
The recycled products can be sold to buyers. It would be incredible to gain companies that produce in large quantities to purchase these recyclable materials, to substitute as materials for their products. This is a good investment, as many people are likely to buy it if it's for a good cause. Since making products out of environmentally friendly materials adds a lot of value to it.
How did our project get attention? We researched on behaviors of our target consumers, which are youths, and the AACAP states that surveys show that 90% of teenagers aged 13 to 17 have used social media, and 75% have at least one active account. An idea of interest or topic of discussion is very often spread via social media through stimulating trends. Many people like to follow trends that people around them do and get influenced, or else people feel as though they're missing out. As more and more people spread the word of our project, people around them, friends and family, are prone to be convinced. Following on, a way to attract consumers is by providing a reward. We're hoping if we get your help, we can send out physical rewards for highest point collectors, or collaborate with brands that can sell the project's penguin merchandise. However, another example would be to spark competition. For example, in collection games like Pokemon Go, it was very successful because people wanted new Pokemon characters to show off and to use to fight. We can use the penguins collected to start challenges and battles.
You'll fund our project by asking for sponsors from companies. For example, public spaces like retail complexes or parks that can help set up more recycling bins to improve accessibility. These are people who would be willing to help, and this will reflect on how they collaborate to their social responsibilities. Consequently, this would benefit a good social image for the brand itself. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
In the heart of the Antarctic, where icy winds and pristine landscapes define a world of enchantment, a story unfolds, a story of resilience, of struggle, and of hope. Meet the emperor penguins, magnificent beings adapted to the harshest conditions. Yet, their home, our Antarctic wonderland, is under threat. Climate change is affecting every corner of our planet, but here in Antarctica, its impact on emperor penguins is profound. That's why we've created Penguin Pulse, an initiative to connect individuals like you to the incredible lives of these majestic creatures and, more importantly, to make a real impact in their conservation. In a world where our environment faces unprecedented challenges, there is a call to action. Penguin Pulse is a unique opportunity to stand up and make a real difference in the fight against climate change.
Hi there, I'm Miguel, part of the Penguin Pulse team. Every day, we embark on a journey to the heart of the Antarctic to bring you closer to the lives of these amazing penguins, the emperor penguins. We use state-of-the-art cameras and technology to capture their daily activities, ensuring you get a front row seat to the wonders of their world.
Once you become a Penguin Pal, you receive daily updates, photos, and immersive content, creating a personal connection with the adopted penguin. Our target market is as diverse as its reporters, whether you're an animal enthusiastic, an environmental advocate, or someone who simply appreciates the charm of penguins, Penguin Pal is for you. Our strategy is simple. We start by spreading the word globally, reaching as many people as possible. As awareness grows, so does our impact. We will share heartwarming stories, captivating visuals, and success stories of adopted penguins. But it's not just about adopting, it's about contributing to their conservation.
We have carefully planned our costs and earnings to ensure sustainability. With your support, we can cover initial expenses and reinvest profits in vital conservation efforts. By adopting a penguin on our platform, not only do you enrich your life with the wonders of nature, but you actively contribute to a sustainable future for these incredible creatures. We will work with organizations like the Global Penguin Society, who do incredible work to improve scientific knowledge, and we will donate the funds to them. We're not just looking after penguins, we're contributing to their conservation and fighting against climate change.
It's a very short one. Yes, certainly you can. Yeah.
Of your penguin in your email. So how do you become the guardian of a penguin? Firstly, you should go to our website Abode and go to the Adopt a Penguin section. From here, you should scroll down to look at our penguin profiles, which consists of the penguin's name, gender, age, and favorite activities, or activities it is seen most often doing. These are created by the scientists and the students of this project. Lastly, complete the adoption certificate form and make the payment of $10. And then from here on out, you will receive weekly pictures of your penguin in your email. Thank you.
So now we're moving on to the last but not least team, the most amazing team in Sao Paulo, Brazil, from St. Francis School.
All right, so to start off, I just wanted to make something a bit more clear for our presentation. We wanted to not only talk about the penguins, because although they are very important and they are beautiful creatures that are slowly dying, there are also many other species and problems in Antarctica that we also wanted to cover and raise awareness so that we can help out so we can help out Antarctica as a whole and not just the penguins. So firstly, we're going to be, well, we already introduced who we are. We're going to be talking about the emperor penguins and our business plan on how we can help the environment. So as we forgot to introduce our names, I'm João Pedro, this is Nico. We have another member called Mirella, who unfortunately cannot be here today. We have Mr. Mate with us helping out, and Mr. Holsgrove that is also in the call. We are from Brazil, and our school is St. Francis College. And about the emperor penguins. So the issue that we're currently having with the emperor penguins in Antarctica is that due to climate change, the ice there is melting too early in the year, and that makes it so the emperor penguin babies, they can't develop and grow fast enough. And when the ice melts, they end up falling and drowning in the water because they aren't developed enough to be able to swim and get to safety. And that makes it so many of them are dying, and the population of the penguins is year by year slowly decreasing more and more. These are some facts about the emperor penguins. They can grow around 120 centimeters and weigh 40 kilograms. They're the least common species in Antarctica, for the penguin species in Antarctica, and they are estimated to have around 265,000 to 278,000. They are also very good divers, as one of the longest recorded dives they've had was 564 meters. And also, these penguins, they have adapted extremely well to their environment, as if I'm not mistaken, they have two coats of fur around them so that they aren't too cold, and they have their beaks are very short to conserve heat so that they don't get too cold. Now, the human impacts on the penguins, as I have previously mentioned, the climate change is making it so the ice melts too early in the year, and the babies can get to safe places and they end up drowning, which is terrible. Some of the things that makes these happen is airplanes, climate change as well. Overfishing can affect the food web in the Antarctic and make it so penguins might starve. And also pollution, again, it doesn't directly affect the penguins, but it messes with the food web in Antarctica. And it's a very delicate system. We had a meeting with Maddie, and he even told us that when they go to the Antarctica, everything that they bring in has to come out because the ecosystem is so fragile that there can't be any outside influence on it. They don't even bring like dogs for sledges. They can't bring any other life forms or any other things from other countries or other places because it can completely ruin the environment there.
And there are, as we said, there are many other species there that eventually will die if we don't change our actions, because the ice is melting and it's extremely important for all the species. Another example is the Arctic seal, and there's also one species that is very important are the Antarctic krills, which are the main source of food for many of the animals like the blue whales, and they need the ice there so they can recreate and exist in that environments. And if they stop existing, then many of the other species will also go extinct. So it's very important that we are aware of this, because it's not just one species that will die. It's not just that the Earth will get hotter, but if we continue on this path that we are currently in, we will be responsible for the death and extinction of over 1,000 species that live in the Antarctic.
So our plan: 10,000 penguins, 1,500 blue whales, and over 500,000 Arctic seals are dying each year because of the pollution. Sorry, and they need your help. The way we have encountered this problem is by spreading the word. We have thought of three main ideas: the encouragement of education in the Arctic, news articles related to Arctic and all the events happening with the melting of ice, and the Antarctica Day. So our plan is simple. We want to encourage the education about all that's happening in Antarctica, their animals, their history, and all of its interesting aspects. Our first idea was to encourage schools to develop a program that can teach about Antarctica and all of its interesting jobs and all of its animals and fauna that makes it such a complex system. This will also encourage students to pursue, if interested, to pursue jobs in Antarctica, directly causing the help of the reduction of pollution and the reduction of the ice melting. Our second idea was to encourage more media about the Arctic and all of its melting polar ice caps and the animals, of the extinction of the animals. We have decided that this can be implemented on a smaller scale, with schools starting to publish it and smaller, more amateur news companies posting more stories about it. And then, if possible, even larger news companies posting about it. And then our last plan was the further encouragement and support of the Antarctica Day. As you all know, today is December 1st, the day that the Antarctica Treaty was actually signed in 1956, if I'm not wrong. And a lot of nations actually celebrate the Antarctica Day as today, but we feel like the UN can also help a lot, since this will be presented at COP28. We, by telling this to the UN and all the General Assembly, that it could actually spark ideas in order to create a new Antarctica Day or the further promotion of the current Antarctica Day, which is today.
And also, our idea, it's not just to spread more awareness, because we are constantly trying to do that, obviously. We are telling more people about it, but the problem that we believe about this spreading of awareness is that people will often forget about, because since people have a lot of problems in their day-to-day lives, it's easy to forget about everything that is happening. And by having these articles be published weekly or bi-weekly, it'll be a reoccurring topic and people will remember it more often. And as Matt said, this can make people include these facts in their conversations more, and it will just become a reoccurring topic. And also, by having these classes in schools, we will be able to grow a generation that is more aware and more cautious of their actions, because they will know how they are affecting the environments in the Antarctica.
We actually created a website already. So we have a site that has a lot of information on some of the currently in a risk of extinction animals. For example, the emperor penguin, the Arctic seal, the blue whales, and the Arctic krill are some of the examples that are in there. We're still in the process of development in this site. This is more of a local impact that we have created, since we haven't, for example, in the previous idea, it hasn't been developed as much as their idea of buying a site, developing and advertising them. But it's still a way for us as students of St. Francis to spread the word in our school, and we actually recommend, if you guys want to do the same. I know one school already has the idea for the sites, but just even if you don't win, spread the information around. It's still really important, and just it's super important for people to be aware and for people to understand that this is still currently happening, and it isn't something that just passes away with time.
And also in the website, we would include a little comment section where people can add more information or include more links to other articles or other websites that give out more information or more in-depth studies about everything that is happening there.
Winner of the Antarctic Ambassadors Challenge. Congratulations go to Team Cranley.
We have had an amazing day. We had people from all over the world, teachers, students, speakers from every continent, giving really good expert advice to the youth, really informative stuff. The tension, the excitement was building. Race for Good is a competition. We have an amazing winning school from Punahou School in Hawaii, and we have Cranley School in Abu Dhabi. Huge congratulations from me, from us, and youth collectively. You are incredible. Your voice has been heard, and more than that, action. It's being implemented.
Well, that's it for today at COP28. Thank you so much for watching. And how amazing were the youth from Abu Dhabi, Greenland, Brazil and Thailand. The voice of the youth are so inspiring at COP28. And guys, don't forget, tomorrow the Global Youth Choir will be performing right here at COP28. Don't forget to tune in and watch the show. It's gonna be great.
It's gonna take all of